Welcome back, dear viewers, to the Creepy Collective. Tonight, we have a chilling treat for you, an array of creepy ghost stories told by TikTokers who have experienced the unexplained and the terrifying firsthand. From haunted houses to spectral encounters in the dead of night, these tales will make you question what lurks in the shadows. So sit back, turn off the lights, and let the stories unfold. Remember to like this video if you enjoy our content, and don't forget to subscribe to the Creepy Collective for more spine-chilling tales and mysterious investigations. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode of our dark and twisted journey into the unknown. Welcome to the Creepy Collective.
Tell me a ghost story that sounds completely unbelievable but is entirely...
I have one. When I was 16, 17 years old, my bedroom was the attic of my parents' house. One night, I proceed to have one of the most real-feeling dreams I've ever had. In the dream, I'm sleeping in my bed. I wake up in the dream to an older woman standing in the corner of my bedroom. I do not know this woman, never seen this woman. She actually looked quite ghost-like, a little translucent. You could see through her a bit. Like, she looked like a ghost. She proceeds to ask me, I have a son. He needs someone to play with. Would you mind playing with him? Not sure why I chose to say yes, but I did. And I was like, yeah, I'll totally play with your son. That seems totally normal. Like, we're in a dream, so, like, fine, I'll play with your son. As soon as I say, yeah, I'll play with your son, he appears, like, if I'm laying in my bed, like, she's on this side, he appears on this side of the room, like, right where the stairs are, the top of the steps. And he starts to walk over to my bed, comes to my bed, and he's like, let's play arm wrestling. So I'm like, yeah, no problem. Let's play arm wrestling. So I put my hand up like this. He puts his hand in my hand, and we are arm wrestling. At first, it's like a good give and go. We're like, oh, yeah. And then, like, he pins my hand completely down. I feel his hand, hold on. I feel his hand around my hand, ice cold. He pins my hand down and is staring at me. And I'm like, okay, like, let's play again. And he goes, I don't think you want to play this game with me. Just like that, like, dead stare. I don't think you want to play this game with me. So I'm like, what does that mean? Let's play, like, okay, let's play the game. So he goes, no problem. Digs his nails into my hand like that and starts pinning my hand to the bed, yelling, I win, 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 I win. I rip my hand away from his. I feel the scratch marks on my, like, right here. And then he takes a step back with this, like, grin on his face. And he becomes this, like, black cloud of smoke. And I know that sounds unreal, but just stay with me. So he's this big cloud of smoke. This is all still in the dream. I get up, I'm screaming, I jump out of my bed. Here's where it gets crazy. I jump out of my bed in the dream and I wake up in real life and I am fully standing on my feet. So as I'm standing on my feet, I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I'm down the stairs, out the room, right? And so my mom and my sister are downstairs in the kitchen cooking breakfast. My mom is a very spiritual person, so I have no problem just being like, yo, this is what just happened. And it's like, disregard the dream if you want, but I was fully standing when I woke up. Insane. And so typically, not saying typically like this happens all the time to me, but like my mom we regularly would have priests come over, bless the house, things like that. So like that's not weird. So like my mom throwing holy water around the house is not like an odd thing in my household. So like I'm expecting her to be like, okay, let me go get the holy water. I'll spray your room down. Like, not a big deal. She goes, the holy water is right there. You're going to go get it and go upstairs and throw it around your room with some salt. I'm like, why are you not doing it? She's like, I think you should do it. And I'm like, okay, this is insane. So I take the salt, I take the holy water, I go upstairs. My sister's like, I'll come with you, but I'm staying at the bottom of the stairs. Everybody's acting scared. And so I'm like, okay, I'm not crazy. This is something. So I have the holy water, I have the salt, I go upstairs. I have the holy water in like a little cup, and I have the salt. I go upstairs, and so I'm like throwing the holy water around, just a little flap, flap, flap. around and I have the salt and I throw it onto my bed and it sizzles. Bitch. I was gone. I never ran down a flight of stairs faster in my life. I don't even think I touched one step. I jumped from the top 11 steps down, bow, hit it. I was downstairs the next flight, bow, hit it. I didn't stop for shit. I said the only way I'm going back up there is if y'all bring a priest to hose this house down with a fire truck of holy water. I'm not playing at all with y'all. And so my mama got the priest to come and he blessed the whole house, top to bottom. He didn't miss no floor, no nook, no cranny. And I never had an experience like that again. So I don't know where that little boy is at, but I hope his soul is at rest because he.
A story that sounds completely unbelievable but is entirely true. I'll go first.
Okay, excuse how I look, but I'm gonna try to be super quick when I tell this story. So this happened to me about a month ago, and I'm laying in my bed. I had just had the strangest dream in the world. And I woke up from my dream because, it was scary, like something was chasing me or whatever. And I went in the bathroom, and then I just woke up out of fear. And I just sat there, and I was just looking at my bedroom wall. The way my bed is set up, so like if you walk in my room and you look to the right, my bed is on the far left wall. And when I was sleeping, my back was turned to the door, so I couldn't see anything. So I'm just chilling, right? And I'm laying there. Mind you, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I hear the loudest footsteps running through our house. Like, our house, we have real hardwood floors, so you can hear when somebody's walking through the house. You can hear that. But somebody was in there running, and they was running fast, girl. They wasn't stopping. But they did end up stopping, and they stopped at my room door. And I'm just laying in my room, and I'm looking at my wall what? It just ran through the house and stopped at my door for some reason. What was that? And then I hear my bedroom door open. I know what my door sounds like. If you have a newer house, you know how, if you open and close your door, it makes a clicking noise or whatever. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But I heard my door open, and I'm just laying there in fear. I've never felt so scared before in my life. I'm so serious. And I'm just laying there, and I feel something behind me. Y'all, it was the darkest presence I've ever felt. It felt not human, okay? Whatever was standing behind me was not a person. I thought it was, but it wasn't. The longer I sat there and realized that it was not a person. So I'm laying there, and I usually have the covers up to my neck, but this night I did not. I was slacking a little bit, and my neck was exposed. It was this side of my neck right here. It was exposed, and I felt something touch my neck. It was so sharp. It touched my neck. Y'all, I literally thought something think of the sharpest object you can and imagine it poking you in your neck. Boop, like that. Or it happened fast but slow at the same time. It was like that. So I jump out of my bed. Excuse me. I turn around. Nobody's there, of course. And my bedroom door is closed. It was never open. It never got opened. So I jump up and I go to the door and I open the door because at first I thought it was my brother because I know he comes in there sometimes and snooping around and stuff, trying to find my phone charger, just that and the third. I know he does that a lot. So I thought that was him. So I walk across the hall because my bedroom and his bedroom are adjacent from each other. So I walk across the hall. This man's asleep. Sound asleep. Mind you, he has a bunk bed. So he got to climb up the ladder to get in the bunk bed. And he would have been up there by now. He would have still been climbing the ladder. By the time I made it to the door, open my door, he would have still been climbing the ladder. And I would have heard his bed because the bed's kind of squeaky. So I'm like, what the heck just ran in here and touched me? What was that? So y'all, I went in my room and I sat on my bed and I cried and I put on scriptures. I started looking up Google scriptures, reading the Bible, praying, everything on my knees, listening to sermons, playing gospel music. Girl, I was not playing. I said, whatever you are, You are not welcome. Please get away from me right now. I don't play those type of games. I don't. Also, I'm gonna mention when this happened, I was on my I done fell off a little bit, not gonna lie. But I was on my, journey with having a relationship with Jesus Christ, and y'all, I think something was trying to, something was, something was in there, and they were trying to get me. I don't play like that. And then I had called my boyfriend because I was scared, but yeah, y'all, and I didn't go to bed till like an hour or two later, and I was still scared when I went to bed. So I had my little sermons playing, scriptures playing in the background on my TV, everything was playing, girl. I don't play them games, but that's my little ghost story.
Tell me a ghost story that sounds completely unbelievable but is entirely true.
So about 10 years ago, I was looking for a place to live, and my church rector at the time, was renting out rooms in the rectory because she was living there, but she would eventually be moving within like 6 months to a year. And, her husband had already gone ahead and there were all these extra rooms. So I said, yeah, sure, I'll rent a room. It was cheap. So her son lived in this one room and he hated sleeping in there. He was about 8 or 9 years old at the time, and he would only sleep in there if the dog was with him. So eventually, like, her room was big enough that she moved her son into her room with her, and she offered me the room, and I said, sure. It was just, a square room, large, one tiny closet, and like open shelving. So like, nothing like out of the ordinary. Anyway, so the first night that I was in there, maybe this was a warning, the dog came in and I was laying on the air mattress just hanging out, and he laid next to me and just like cuddled up to me, but then like threw up. And I was like, "Oh no, poor dog." But that was pretty much like the last time he ever came in there. So I started living in there, nothing out of the ordinary, and I wasn't there very long. But one night, it was late. I went to sleep, and there was a window in my room, one window, and there was a fire station across the street. So the light would come in. Plus, it's in Brooklyn, so there was always like some light. So my bed was against a wall, and I was facing the side that wasn't against the wall, right against the wall. And I woke up in the middle of the night, and there's an old woman standing by my bed. So picture a woman who's, just got like kind of a hunchback, like short, just like very old face. And when I was younger, I used to have a lot of nightmares. I would see things in the house where I grew up, and I would have sleep paralysis. But as I got older, I knew that like nothing could hurt me. And I was like confident, like everything's okay. So, like, now I'm seeing this old woman. So my first reaction was like, it's a dream. And I start laughing. And as soon as I start laughing, she scratches me. So I immediately turn on the light. Now I am a little scared. And I just look around the room. Obviously, no one's in there. There's nothing out of the ordinary. I kind of like get up, look in the hallway. No one is awake. Everyone, there were a lot of people in the house, but like no one was awake. It was late at night. So I just like get back into bed and
Story time. And yes, I'm driving because this mess just happened this morning and I am still trying to process what the heck I just saw. My husband, he goes to work earlier than myself, and most of the time I work from home anyway, but I'm going to the office today. But my husband, he is normally out the house at 5:30. But this morning, he forgot his wallet, so he returned at 6 o'clock, 6:15. And, I spoke to him. I went in the bathroom with him and talked to him because I was trying to figure out why he was there. He gave me his kiss and he left. I got back into bed because I still had an hour before I needed to be up. I get back into bed. Soon as I doze off, I feel a kiss on the forehead the exact same way that my husband gives me a kiss every single day before he goes to work. I wake up, it's my husband, and he's walking away going to the bathroom. And I'm like, hey, you're back again? But he didn't answer me, and I'm like, I might as well get up anyway because I need to get dressed. But he doesn't respond to me, and he just keeps walking to the bathroom, and it's really, really odd for him to do something like that. So, of course, I get annoyed, and I follow him into the bathroom. But when I get into the bathroom, there is no husband there. And my mind is freaking blown. I just saw a doppelganger or whatever the heck you want to call it. But that was definitely supposed to be my husband. It gave me a kiss. I felt it, and I saw the back of him. He wore the same uniform that my husband wears to work. And he walked into the bathroom. I followed, but when I got into the bathroom, there was no one there. It was strange because my closet light was on, and we're anal about not leaving lights on. The closet light was on. And I am wondering because these past few nights, I saw just the face of whatever that thing was. It was just a face. I can't describe what the face looked like. It just was a floating face that I saw the other night. But over the past couple nights, I keep seeing this. I don't know if it's an orb, a blob, a puff of smoke. I don't know what it is because it's something that in this world I really can't describe. And the closest thing I can describe it to is like a cloud of smoke moving, but it's more liquid like than a cloud. But it's like I see it in the room, and it's really trying to form a shape. And I have seen it almost outside of the night that I seen the twerking person in the corner and the face. That was the only night I didn't see that thing trying to form. And I have seen that same thing over the years in different forms and different colors, but this one that I've seen lately has been like a grayish shape, but it stands out in the dark. It could be pitch black in a room in that shape or form, and it's enough that I'm asleep and it gets so close to me that it's very startling. Like I wake up and I scream, and my husband has to, he reminds me that he's in the room and everything's okay. And I'll go back to sleep. I'll throw the cover over my head like I'm a little kid because I just want to sleep. Like they bug me so much in the middle of the night. But I am wondering if that cloud of smoke was whatever this thing that I saw that was not my husband trying to form. Anyway, that's another paranormal moment. That's some recent stuff. It's so crazy that ever since I came back from visiting my mom when my cousin had that seizure, that the spiritual world has been so active around me since then. I have always seen things, but there is only one other time in my life back in the year of 2012 to 2013. Those 2 years were this heavy with the activity where I'm not getting a night's rest without seeing something. And right now it's back. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna cleanse the house again, but I am not the ghost whisperer. I'm tired. I just want some sleep. But now apparently they're not just letting me sleep. They're showing up during the daytime. And you have to excuse me, I'm just rambling because this literally just happened less than an hour ago. So my mind is just blown. And so, yeah, what are your thoughts on what this thing is that I saw? Let me know in the comments.
So I have a little creepy story to share with y'all. About 12 to 13 years ago, we used to live in these terrible apartments. And the energy over there was always terrible because it was either dolphins or alcoholics, just like in this building, because it was affordable. And I would also like to add that, I had my son young, so me and my ex did not have a lot of money at the time. There was a reason why we were staying there. Like, we didn't even have a bed frame, which is going to be important later. Anyway, I started to notice that my son was just having a great ass time by himself, just playing with a damn toy. And I'm not talking about that laugh like I'm having a good time. I'm talking about that laugh that babies have when you like tickle them, or like when you do that peekaboo. Like, the fuck? Anyway, I'm the type of person that speaks to everything. So I'm like, bruh, listen, it seems like my baby's having a great ass time. And just don't harm my baby. Don't let me see you. And then we good. But eventually, like, I started to feel washed in the shower. And after like a few days of this, I'm like, bro, like you can't do this, because like, what kind of bills is you paying to try to see my goodies? After a week or so, I'm yelling at this point, like, bro, just let me just take a shower in peace. And then all of a sudden I stopped feeling watched, and then I hear my son scream, and he's crying like out of pure fear. Of course, and when I run out the shower and I go see him, and he's like terrified, like somebody just scared the shit out of him. So I was pissed. Okay, so I went off a little bit, just a little. So that night, I see the cup fall off that fucking counter. And it's one of those like tall plastic cups that's kind of heavy. And no, I do not leave my cups on the edge, because my baby act like he was the most thirstiest person in the world, and he had to try every liquid that exists. And I was like, okay, that's what we doing now. What a piece of shit. Move. I was trying to stay up and wait for my ex to get home. Now, he usually get home about 2:15 because he get off at 2 and we didn't live very far from the job. But I eventually give up and fall asleep. So then I feel him, sit on the bed. And I look up and I'm like, hey, how was work? And he ain't saying nothing. I was like, did you just get home? He didn't say nothing. So I said, fuck it. And I turned my ass back around and go to sleep, because you don't have to talk to me. You don't want me to don't talk to me. Then I woke up to the lights turning on. And he walking through the fucking door. So I cuss his ass out. Like, where the hell did you go at 2 o'clock in the morning? And blah, 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 blah. He was like, I just got here. And I was like, no, you didn't. You got home earlier. I asked you how everything was. You didn't want to talk to me, but now you want to go outside? He was like, no, I just got here. What are you talking about? And I was like, bro, what time is it? And he was like, it's like 2:17. And I was like, no. But then now that I'm aware, I'm realizing that the shadow I was looking at was way more heavyset and bald, while my ex was super skinny with hair. And I remember giving him this look, and he was like, no, don't even tell me. Now, I didn't have anything happen after that, but it was just like, bro, why?
Tell me a ghost story that sounds completely unbelievable but is entirely true.
Okay, story time. But before we get started, let me tell you something. Prior to what I'm about to share with you, I was not an avid believer in ghosts, but now I am. So maybe about 13 years ago, me and my sister were just chilling in our apartment. We were just like playing video games, kikiing, having a girls' night, right? So I was laying on the floor and she was sitting next to me on the floor. And out of like the peripheral vision that I had, there was like a bright light on the couch. And I like literally slowly turned my head to the couch, and there was a woman, a younger woman, probably in her late 30s maybe, wearing 1950s clothing, dark hair, the like retro 1950s, glasses that the wives would wear, something kind of like this. And she was just sitting behind this bright light, and all noises from the video game disappeared, and I could hear her speaking to me. And she looked right at me, and she said to tell my mom to take her time and to slow down. I really don't remember why it was said that way or what she was referencing really. But as she's telling me this, there's another character appearing on the couch. And it was like a younger man, maybe 19 years old. And he was sitting on the couch wearing a top hat and nice suit to go with it, dated about the same time. And he didn't say anything to me. He was just kind of sitting there being goofy, like making like happy faces, goofy faces. And I never felt threatened by him. I just felt like he was there to lighten the mood or something. But as I'm looking at this woman and him, I begin to like cry. I just cried. And I felt like it was my great-grandmother on my mom's side, but I never knew her at that young age of hers. But she reminded me of her. She had dark hair and she was just beautiful. I just felt at peace with her. So anyways, I'm crying. My sister is looking at me and she's looking at the couch and she begins to cry. And then I asked her if she was seeing what I was seeing, if she could see the woman sitting on the couch. And my sister agreed with me. She said she saw her. Now I can't remember if I ever confirmed what she could hear this woman say, but I was okay with confirmation that she was seeing what I was seeing because she was crying too. It gets a little creepy here. Hold on. I called my mom up and I told her exactly what I saw, how they were dressed, all of that. And I told her what the message was, which was for her to slow down. And I do believe at that time, my mom was in a situation with purchasing land, possibly building her home. And she was really, really stressed out about it. And that was like the only thing that I felt like was clicking for her and for me to figure out like, what does slow down mean? I told her about the boy. She really didn't say anything. And we kind of left that conversation, right? But now I'm about to tell you exactly when this incident gave me chills and made me believe. I called my grandmother right after talking to my mom and I told her the whole scenario. And in that moment, my grandma started crying after I had described the boy that was sitting next to the woman. And she then proceeds to tell me that my great-grandmother had a brother that she believed had sandy blonde hair who had died in a farming accident when he was very young and around the age that I had described this man. The only thing that was getting to me was why was he wearing like a top hat suit and why was he being goofy? And she told me that he was known for being like a class clown type of personality. And that's why she was crying, was that I was describing him and I had never even heard of him. So yeah. Do I believe in ghosts? After that incident, hell yeah.
Did you know that one of the most common ways that a spirit will try to communicate with you is through your phone? It takes very little effort, and this could be either via text or a phone call. Story time. For the sake of the story, let's call her Lucy. So Lucy's mom passed away on a Tuesday. On a Wednesday, she received a phone call. When she picked up the phone, she very distinctively heard her mom's voice say, "Lo, lo, lo," and then hung up. Lo is the nickname that Lucy's mom had for her. Lucy's mom was also the only person that would ever call her Lo. What Lucy heard was definitely her mom because she had that very distinctive New York accent, and it was her voice. 2 weeks after that phone call, one of her mom's bracelets just flew across the room with absolutely no explanation. This actually took place in front of 2 witnesses. Story number 2. My aunt passed away when she was in her 50s. She actually ended up outliving both her mom and dad. Every morning at about 7 a.m., my grandmother would always receive a phone call from my aunt. After she passed, this of course stopped until one day at exactly 7 a.m., her phone rang. When she looked at it, the caller ID said that it was my aunt calling. She of course answered, but all she could hear was just static coming from the other end. She repeated my aunt's name over and over again just to see if she could hear anything, and the line just disconnected from the other side.